How do you say no? How can you stand your ground and learn to say no? Can you do it? Can you stand your ground? Well, I'm sitting right now, so maybe you can't stand on ground. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about standing your ground from a behavioural point of view and learning to say no. Can you learn? Are you too old to learn? Oh, I've had all of these habits over my lifetime. I'm used to people knocking me down. I'm used to doing it. I'm the yes person. I'm the one that's always there. I'm the one that people rely on. But you are actually feeling it. You need to stand your ground, to just stay right here, not get pulled in a different direction when you are essentially the best that you need to be right now. The reason why people are looking for your help, are looking for your advice, are wanting you to do something, is you have the ability to do it. And not just that, but you actually will do it. You are a giving person. They know that. So they're going to say, well, I'll ask them to do it. Because they will invariably say, yes, I'll do it. Not everybody will do that. That doesn't mean to say that that person is not a good person. The person who says no can be the best person. People respect that people take their own time and they take their own awareness of time and their own awareness and respect of their own abilities and value on their own abilities and goodness and helpfulness. And if a person says, no, I'm sorry, I can't just do that right now, I'm busy. Or, I'm sorry, I have plans made. That doesn't mean to say I won't help you in the future, though. I can help you in the future, but just not right now, unfortunately. I work in confidential work, you work in confidential work. So you can say, I have a confidential case, I have other people to look after. That's honest. That's the truth, if indeed you work in confidential work, that is. But isn't everybody's life confidential in some regard, or it should be? Or privacy, huge issue. So we have a private life, a personal life, and a public life, or a professional life. So if you have a personal matter, legally you're allowed to actually have that personal time to make a decision, private time, to do things, to relate to people in your private life, to do things your way, to make mistakes perhaps that are totally against your professionality. Yeah, that's welcome, you're human. We're not saying you're perfect. But what I'm saying here is that you need to stand your ground. Because if we look at the past behavior and things are not going too well, and you're being dragged down a rabbit hole of doing the same old, yes, 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 I'll do it, and suddenly your energy is gone, your time is gone, you feel stressed, or you feel annoyed, or you're doing it just because you do it all the time, but you're doing it for somebody that you don't respect, or you're doing it for somebody that you don't necessarily get on with, or you're doing something that you don't actually enjoy doing, and you're doing it for somebody that is not too good to you, but it's just out of habit. And that's what it is. It's a habit of just getting to do it, to say yes. And it's also a habit by the person who asks you, who continually asks you. It's their habit, because they know, well, hey, this person will do it. They always do it. I'll have a word with them. So they'll do it. Why wouldn't they do it? They always do it. So that's their habit. That's their way. The same way as a person gets up early in the morning before another person. The same way as if a person takes drugs. It's a habit. Standing your ground is just respecting yourself. If you don't respect yourself fully, then you can't communicate to another person about why you're standing your ground on this topic, about this issue at this particular moment in time. That does not mean to say that you wouldn't help somebody in the future. That does not mean to say that you won't help them or haven't helped them lots or loads in the past. Behaviours can change. They can improve. If behaviours are improved, people will respect them, even if it's a person who is used to you actually saying yes all the time. By standing your ground, you're staying where you need to be for you right now. With that ability of just staying in the moment right now, giving yourself that time, that ability to actually reflect and analyze your own particular situation, then you're giving yourself the time and the respect and the diligence that is needed to just be and nothing else. Being busy doing things for other people is not going to help you in your particular situation at life, in work, in relationships, in whatever it is right now. Just by delaying things and by doing things for other people, it's not going to get you from A to B. People will respect you, as I said, if you say no. This is a beautiful thing. And when you say no to somebody, you're actually communicating to them that, okay, I have boundaries. Please respect them. And that's all it is. No is not a negative word. It's just an affirmative word. It's a word that's saying, hello, this is where I am right now, this position in time. No. Communication is honest, open, calm. Then it is affirmative. Yes is also affirmative, but in a different way. I affirm, yes, that you can do that, or I will do that for you. No, I affirm that I will not be able to do that right now. However, in the future, please ask me again. Thanks for asking. Goodbye. Simple. Doesn't mean to say you have to act it out or anything like that. Be honest. I mean, the reality is people will know whether you're honest or not. People also actually see you as more dependable, believe it or not, if you're actually respecting yourself enough to stand your ground and just say, nada, no, thank you, but no. If somebody gives you food and you don't want it, oh, no, thank you. That's okay. The food can go to somebody else. There's always going to be somebody hungry. If you're in a restaurant and somebody comes over to you, do you want extra water? No, thank you. But the food's nice. It's a compliment about the food. It's also saying, well, I have enough water. Thank you. Why should you drink any more? Why should you have a consequence to the action of saying yes? Why should you have to go to the toilet 5 more times because you've taken too much water? Why? It's your own decision. I'm not saying it's your fault, it's your decision. You can change though at any time because people will respect you more. And when you're selective with your tasks, you actually become better and sharper with your own particular strengths. Like when you concentrate on things that you're good at, you can actually improve on your natural talents, believe it or not. So if you're really good at artistry, then you could decide to volunteer or give your time and perhaps create things like puppets or create things that are needed for a parade or something. And this then will concentrate on your strengths and build your skills. And this is when you are selective with your tasks. You're sharpen your natural strength. So what I'm saying there is, if somebody asks me, will you help me at this? I'm a helpful person. I always like to help, so my natural reaction will be yes, but hang on a second. If that's on Tuesday, I have something else planned in my own mind for Tuesday, and it is just as helpful for people, maybe not in the moment, but over time, because if I'm doing a recording, it's going to help more than one person. Therefore, that kind of task takes precedence over helping somebody on the Tuesday if I have planned to record on the Tuesday, especially if it's a helpful creative recording. So, to my mind, it's a better helpfulness. So there you go. That is essentially what our nuts and bolts of helping ourselves is all about. Of saying no to what we need to say no to, and why we need to stand our ground. And there's science behind this as well, because there's ways of saying no without actually feeling guilty and hurting someone, even yourself and your feelings. Because people wonder to themselves, well, I'd feel terrible if I said no. I mean, I have to say yes. It's the nice thing to do. But if you're looking at your own self-feelings, well, that's something you need to address within yourself. So by avoiding communicating your no negatively, There's actually science out there that says that this is a very good thing. There was a psychologist called Daniel Goldman, and his expertise was emotional intelligence. Here he found that humans have a negativity bias towards, believe it or not, text messaging and email. And he argued that if a person sent an email feeling positive about their particular message, a negative bias will lead the receiver to feel that the message, when received, was in a neutral tone. So if you're sending something, oh, I really want to wish a person a happy birthday, I'm sending a text and I'm happy for them, they already have a negative bias towards that message according to this particular psychologist. Now likewise, if a sender thinks neutrally, oh, happy birthday, I'll just send it to them, it's their birthday, I'll do it every year, you know, they know I know your birthday, so guess what, we grew up together with the same birthday, I'll just send them a message. If the sender feels neutral about their message, the receiver then interprets it negatively. So the feelings of the sender, be it positive or neutral, doesn't really matter. It's the interpretation, the reception of it by the receiver is negative bias. Now if the negativity is felt by the receiver interprets it even more negatively than they actually intended. So how do you counteract this then? Well, if someone is sending a text or email, you have to ensure that you avoid sending messages when you're angry or frustrated. So you need to counteract it with positive words. So rather than just happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, if everybody gets happy birthday on their timelines, it's just happy birthday. Yeah, happy is positive, and yeah, you could perceive that birthday is a positive time. But it's everyone is saying the same thing, and if I have a negative bias towards that, well then, hey, I need to be more positive again, to be even more positive than the person who is just saying happy birthday. After all, happy birthday is a well-worn phrase. So you've got to be more positive than it in order to do what this psychologist is telling us to do. Interesting. If it's not interesting enough, I do wish you a happy day and not just a birthday. How many people have said that to you today? And I also say thank you for subscribing, even if you haven't, but if you have, thank you very much. So please subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time though, have a happy and wonderful day.